out here in beautiful Okinawa, Japan. My name is Anacani Walters. I am the owner and master stand-up paddleboard instructor for PHAT Mermaids. I want to guide you into a beginner-friendly introduction to SUP yoga. You just need a stand-up paddleboard. I will be paddling out into the water and anchoring in your own anchor using literally a brick. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, this is beginner-friendly. Have fun. Don't be afraid of falling in. Getting wet is actually one of the best parts to SUP yoga. So find a nice, comfortable seated position somewhere around your handle, remembering that your handle is your center. So wherever you are, whether you're sitting, kneeling, or standing, you always want to be close to the handle itself. Close your eyes, relax your hands on your knees or in your lap. Allow them to be open, facing up if you're ready to receive whatever beautiful experience is about to occur. Or if you're just not having that kind of a day, feel free to just keep your palms facing down. And then just start to breathe in and out through your nose. Sitting up nice and tall, pulling through the crown, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Start to inhale. Exhaling, nice, deep release. Inhale again, letting that belly expand. And then gently exhaling through your nose. One more full breath here. And a deep exhale. Just take a moment here in gratitude for yourself for making time to get on the mat, in this case the board. Maybe this is a new experience for you, and just embracing the moment, listening to maybe the waves crashing on the beach or the waves in the distance, connecting to the water, feeling the water as it moves underneath the board, feeling the sun kissing your skin, the smell of salty air maybe blowing, listening to nature and all its beautiful sounds. One more full breath here, and a deep exhale. Gently open up your eyes, smile. Inhale, lift your fingertips up to the sky. As you exhale, come into a seated forward fold. Bending from the hips, you're just relaxing, elongating that lower back, relaxing the head, relaxing the neck, maybe closing your eyes as you feel the stretch in your lower back and outer hips. One more full breath here. Stay for the exhale, releasing everything down. Start to walk your hands back towards you as you inhale, reaching your fingertips up to the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, right hand to right rail, and then begin to slightly lean to the right. Now be careful, you are on your board, so you want to make sure you're rooting down to that left hip bone. Inhale here, maybe relax the neck down. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. As you start to exhale, left hand on left rail, lean over to the left. Again, making sure that you're grounding your sit bone to that right side, maybe looking up to the sky underneath that right armpit. Inhale, come back to center. Reach your fingertips behind you, interlace your fingers and pull back, pushing your fingertips towards the water. Puffing up to the chest, inhale here. Exhale, gently release. Roll over onto your knees, however you want to do it. For most people, nice and slow. Bring your feet to one side and then start to scoop back. again, making sure that your belly button is right over that handle. Toes are untucked, fingertips are nice and wide. So if you're a true beginner, cut your board in half, which is basically down the middle from your handle, wherever it is. You have a left side and a right side. You ideally want to cut those sides into another half, so you have 4s, and you want your hand in the middle of that second of each of the halves on the right and the left. Same thing with your knees. You may have to spread them out a little bit wider and make sure that your feet are in line with the back of your knees, okay? So from here, we're going to come into some cat-cows. As you inhale, you're going to drop that belly, look forward as you pull the board back with your hands. As you start to exhale, rounding the back like an angry cat, tucking your chin to your chest and pushing away from the mat. Inhale, cow, look forward, enjoy the beauty around you. As you exhale, rounding the back, tucking your chin to your chest. Do 3 more rounds at your own breath, allowing your breath to guide as fast or slow as you go. This is your practice. We all breathe differently, remembering to just connect the movement to the breath. And when you're done, meet me back in center. Threading the needle. So you're going to use a little bit of a balance. Shift your weight into that left hand. Inhale the right arm to the sky. As you exhale, you're going to thread it underneath that left armpit. Start to shift your hand up as you bring your right ear to the board, keeping that right ear in the center. Making sure that if your hips are starting to go to the left, you recenter them so that they're in line with your hips and your back. Continue to just relax and breathe. As you start to inhale, slowly start to push yourself up. Shift your weight back into your both hands and come back into tabletop. Switching sides. Start to shift that weight into your right hand. Stabilize the weight into your knees as you lift your left arm up to the sky, looking up towards your fingertips. Slowly thread the needle, second side. Bring that elbow down to kind of help you adjust that weight in your left hand. And start to look over to the right. If it's in your practice, again, remembering to shift the weights. Most of the time, because of the board, we shift our hips to the right. As you start to inhale, slowly start to rise up, coming back into a tabletop. Bring your big toes together to touch. Spread your knees out as far as you can. Shift your hips back. Relax your hands forward. Head to the board. If you're wearing a hat, you usually have to take it off. And just relax into child's pose. As you inhale, feeling that belly touch your inner thighs. And a full exhale as you release everything into that board. Take a moment here. Start to think about anything that's not serving you. Stresses at home, stresses at work. And with your exhale, gently release them and let the ocean or the water carry them away. Start to inhale as you rise up. Coming into our first downward facing dog. You're going to tuck your toes behind you, fingertips nice and wide like a starfish. Your knees again are in that center of those halves, those 2 halves. So a little bit sometimes wider than you're traditionally used to. Make sure your feet are right behind your knees. Shift your hips up and back into your first downward facing dog. Look beyond your toes to the water behind you. And take a moment here. Adjust your feet. If it's really rocky, bend the knees. And then as you start to kind of shift your weight, you're going to have to engage that core. Maybe walk your dog, stretch out your hamstrings, and then eventually find stillness in your down dog. Inhale as you lift your hips high, pushing your chest towards your toes. Exhale, relaxing those heels down. Taking one more full breath here. Exhale. Inhale. Look up towards your hands and shift forward to plank. Exhale, release all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes. Inhale into cobra. Just allow your core to lift your chest. Exhale, release everything down. Tuck your toes as you inhale, and as you start to exhale, slowly push back into that downward facing dog, adjusting your feet as needed. Start to bring your left foot to the center of the board so you can lift that right leg to the sky. Coming into half pigeon as you inhale, lift. Exhale, bring that right knee behind your right wrist. Readjust that left foot so that it's back in line with your hip. And then start to wiggle your toes behind you. Inhale as you look up, puffing up through the chest. And then without moving anything from the waist down, start to walk your hands forward, relaxing the head, relaxing the neck. Now, if you can't relax your head completely down, stack your hands up on each other so that you can completely relax. Adjusting your foot as close or as far away from your wrist to avoid any knee pain. Relaxing here, taking some full breaths. Taking one more full breath here. Staying for that exhale. As you start to inhale, slowly walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Start to bring that left foot forward a little bit so that you can come up onto those toes. Slowly start to shift your weight back into that right foot. Adjust for your balance and come into that downward facing dog. Switching sides, bring that right foot to the center of the board. Inhale the left leg up to the sky. As you exhale, half pigeon, second side. Left knee behind left wrist. Realign your right foot behind your hip. Wiggle your toes far back. And then find cobra in the upper body as you inhale. As you exhale without moving anything from the waist down, start to walk your hands forward and completely relax down to the board. Again, if you're super tight in your outer hips, stack your hands on top of each other. It's important to try to relax your head and your neck here. Now, if you start to feel your weight shifting to the right, make sure that you counter shift that weight to that left hip so that your hips are squared to the board. Continue to breathe. With every exhale, releasing all the tension in your body into the water and letting the water carry it away. One more full breath here. As you start to inhale, start to bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Bring that right knee a little bit so that you can tuck your toes, shift your weight, make that quick transition back into a downward facing dog. Last down dog for this practice. So inhale, hips nice and high. Exhale, heels down. One more inhale here. Exhale. Find your way back to a nice seated position. Slow transition, especially if this is your first time. Come back into a cross-legged position here. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch into a butterfly. Inhale as you lengthen through the crown. Exhale, grabbing for your toes, ankles, or calves. Begin to hinge forward from the hips, relaxing the head, relaxing the neck. Pushing your elbows into your knees, knees into elbows, pulling yourself forward. Inhale, start to rise up. Bring your soles of your feet in between those two half sides. Bring your hands behind you, coming into bridge pose. So you're going to maybe need to scoot up so that your butt is a little bit closer to that handle. Hands can either be facing your feet, or if you have any wrist issues, you can push them to the side. You're going to inhale, shift your hips up towards the sky, rotate your shoulders back, maybe relax your head. Inhale here. Exhale, relax all the way down. If you're wearing a life vest, you can remove it so that you can comfortably find Savasana as you relax all the way down towards the back of the board. Inhale. You're going to extend that left leg as you bring that right knee into your chest. You're going to grab the right rail with your right hand, wiggle to the right, exhale, twist to the left as you look over your right shoulder. You're grabbing onto that right rail so you don't roll off. Inhale, slowly make your way back onto your board, wiggling back to the center. Switching sides, extend that right leg, hug that left leg into your chest. Slowly transition the leg to your right hand so you can grab the rail with your left. Wiggle to the left as you start to rotate your knee to the right side as you look over your left shoulder. Again, grabbing onto the left rail so you don't roll off. Inhale, come back to center. Squeeze both knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Inhale, one last deep breath, holding at the top. And then exhale, finding Savasana. The awesome thing about SUP is if you're comfortable with it, you can dip your toes and your hands, relaxing all the way into the board. If you find your mind distracted by any movement or sound, bring it back to your breath. Belly to heart and heart to belly. Gently begin to welcome movement in your fingers and your toes. Inhale your arms overhead as you point your toes in opposite directions, finding a nice full stretch. Start to wiggle yourself to one side, maybe bending the knees to help wiggle yourself over. Using the rails to support your body so you don't roll off. And then when you're ready, with your strong arms, begin to slowly rise back into your seated position. You can keep your toes in the water if that feels good. Inhale your arms up to the sky, palms together at the top, down to heart center. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Thank you if this is your first time for embracing a new experience. And I hope you enjoyed this practice. Stay tuned for more videos and tips for SUP yoga, SUP fitness, and just SUP 101. Again, my name is Anacani Walters. I'm the owner of Fat Mermaids, PHAT, not FAT. Stay tuned for more content. for yoga, SUP, mindfulness, and so much more. Subscribe that button and hit that bell so that you can get reminded every time I create some more epic content for you. As always, stay fat, stay fabulous, and stay beautiful. Namaste.